Bonjour les garçons. So in the video of today I'm going to discuss with you le gérondif, also known as the gerund in English. However, you might not know it under this name because in English people always refer to it as the ing form of the verb. Okay? So this is what le gérondif is about. It is about the ing form in French. So how do you get that? Well, first of all, sorry, let me write down the page we are supposed to be working on. It's page 158 of the grammar book. So on this page, they explain to you how to form the gerund, and they tell you that you are supposed to pick the verb, which is correct. Then you are supposed to pick the ant suffix that you will add right after the verb. And in front of all that, you are supposed to have en. And this is how you get your ang. But don't forget one thing that's very important. When you do all this, you have to pick the second person, plural, present. Okay, otherwise it does not work. If you take past or future, it will not work. So as an example, if you take regarder, the infinitive, the normal form, you will take the second person plural present, right? You will take this. So this gives us the typical EZ at the end that you will remove to add ANT. And once this is done, you will add en at the beginning. And this gives you, in English, something similar as by or while. While watching. By watching or while watching. This is what we call the gerund. If I take another verb, it will work exactly the same. I will take, let me think about it. No, sorry. I will take, what? Finir. Right? Finir. Now keep in mind that finir, the vous form of finir is finissez. Finissez. And I add my EZ. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to add my ANT, and I'm going to add my little en in front, and I'm going to have by finishing or while finishing. This is for the formation of the gérondif. There is something you should keep in mind, however. As usual in French, you have the irregular ones. You always have some irregular ones, right? So let's take a look at them. What are the irregular gérondif? The first one is en ayant. The second one is en faisant. Third one, en sachant. Sorry, en sachant. These are the most common ones. These are the ones that you should really know. And then you will have en disant. That can also be pretty common. And of course, the irregularities. If you have a GER verb like manger, keep in mind that there's going to be a E here. And if you have the verbs like the CER verbs like commencer or avancer, you are going to have your little cédille. Otherwise, the sound is avant quand. These are for the irregularities. Irregularité of the gerund. Now, let me show you how we will why and how we will use these things. L'utilisation du gérondif. It's damn easy. The first thing you can use the gerund for is the following. Let's pretend that you are peeing. You know, je pisse. We all do it all the time, so I think it's a proper example. Je pisse. If you are like me, and I guess Alex, when you pee, I'm sure you're whistling. So the verb whistle in French is siffler. If you transform the whole thing, this gives you je pisse en sifflant. I pee while whistling. Je pisse en sifflant. So what do we have here? I think it's pretty obvious. We have these two actions, peeing and whistling, happening at the same time. Okay? So we will use the gérondif to express la simultanéité. So the simultaneity of two actions. That's the first use, the basic use. That's use number one. Another use is going to be this. Jojo, Joshua. As you all know, Joshua speaks Cantonese. So Joshua learned Cantonese. Chinese, not Japanese, not Cantonese. Joshua a appris le japonais. We all know he speaks Japanese, right? But not all of us know how he learned Japanese. Well, I do. Joshua a appris le japonais en regardant, by watching, des hentai. We all know this. Now you know. I knew it. Now you all know it. Joshua a appris le japonais en regardant des hentai. So what's the very important thing to remember here? It's not that Joshua learned while watching hentai, which is a bad thing to do. It is that basically we learn about the cause, the manner, how Joshua learned Japanese. This is the second use of gerund. It is la cause. Okay? First use was simultaneity. Second use was the cause. And there is a last use if you want to have an exhaustive look at the gerund. The last use is what we will call the condition. So it is something where you would have si or if. Okay? You are going to pass a French DSE, and you might think it is really hard, but I believe that if you work hard, if you do work hard, you will succeed easily. You will pass this with no problem. So you can use the gerund for that. En travaillant dur, by working hard, en travaillant dur, vous aurez un A. By working hard, you will have an A star. If you work hard, you will have an A star. Si vous travaillez dur. That's what it means. And this is it for the gerund. Now, with this being very clear for all of you, I suggest you do exercise numbers 1 to 4 of page 159, okay? Numbers 1 to 4 of page 159.